Hello, everybody. You've heard me rant and rave over the years about the NIL Collective and how it is destroying college football because it basically promotes an unlevel playing field, and I want a level playing field in college football. But I am putting this up here as number one because the NIL Collective came in before there was ever a House settlement or an NCAA settlement of $2.8 billion. I'm just going to concentrate on what a NIL Collective is. Well, a NIL Collective is a private organization that is ran by boosters and alumni and friends of the university, any Power 4 university. All of them have their NIL Collectives. That's outside money men, a slush fund to help put them over the top in college recruiting. That's all it is. It was formed in 2021, and it came about because states and state legislatures decided that student athletes should be paid for their name, image, and likeness. And what do you know? The Power 4 schools started forming NIL collectives and getting that done so that they could pay their players. So you had to form all of these collectives around the nation to start paying student athletes under this disguise of name, image, and likeness. Well, we know it's not name, image, and likeness because they're really employees of the university, but they called it that anyway. They said that anyway. They didn't want the problems of athletes being employees. So that happened in 2021. It's uncapped. As long as they have a valid business purpose, they can pay the athlete what they want him to have. That's what the NIL Collective is about. And the only reason why it got started is because the NCAA couldn't come up with a better plan in which to compensate student athletes. So they tried this first. And it still didn't work because there were lawsuits in the pipeline because the lawyers for the student athletes knew that there was more money to be made, more so than even the NIL Collective. So there you have it. This was the first pay-for-play scheme. They're paying for services of the athlete on the football field or the basketball court. I don't care whether they call it name, image, and likeness all day long. These guys represent the insurance policy for most universities to get those athletes on the campus. That's the way it is. And I'll say it again, it's uncapped money. But what I wanted you to take away from this session is that this is one form or one way that athletes get paid today as far as their compensation from the NIL Collective. So don't confuse it, because next I'm going to be talking about the House settlement or the NCAA settlement. And you can see that that's a far different system than the NIL Collective. And I do think there's going to have to be federal legislation to reel the NIL Collective in if the NCAA doesn't have the guts, or the college sports commissioner don't have the guts to put a cap on what a private organization can spend with regard to athletics and compensating athletes. I'll just put it that way, because there's a lot of legal problems with their use of the word name, image, and likeness, because it's basically pay for play, a slush fund to sign athletes. No more, no less. So there you have it on the NIL Collective. That's part one. On part two, I'm going to talk about the House settlement and comparing it against the NIL Collective. And you'll see what I mean as to what a headache it's been for athletic departments in trying to follow the rules, but knowing they really have owners outside of the university. And these are the real owners. Don't fool yourself. These boosters and alumni have got a lot of people fired, coaches fired, and everybody else. So these are the rainmakers under the NIL Collective. And I really think, for me, they ought to be banned from participating with student athletes directly, or the amount that they can spend on student athletes have to be capped across the board for all NIL collectives that are associated with universities. Take your pick. There you have it. This is C. Ivan Franklin, One Minority Voice, One View, on YouTube at Befrank4real. So there you have it with the NIL Collectives, part 1. Now we will be going to part 2. Thank you.